Go. I think we might be live, Caroline. Hello,
What?
everybody. This is the Rebellious Business Show, and it is 10:35. We're a little bit late this morning, but we hope you're having a wonderful morning wherever you are. And it's good to be back. We had a week off last week, but if you are watching this on the replay, give us a hashtag replay. Let us know that you were here. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name's Cordelia. This is Caroline, and we are co-owners of Rebellious Business, which is a company designed to help people get clients and to build an incredible network around themselves in the most human and fun way possible. So that's who we are and that's what we do. How are you doing today, Caroline? I haven't seen you all morning.
Oh, what are you on about? It's a total lie.
Is it?
We were texting each other at 7. No, it was half 8 we were texting each other. Shall I tell that story of what happened this
Yeah, go on.
morning?
Go
Well,
on.
first, I'm good. I'm actually very good. I'm excited about this show today. And yeah, I'm good. How are you, Cordelia?
I'm good. We've got a really good lineup of questions today from the Rebels that we're going to be answering. Some a bit weird, some a bit wacky, some a bit wild, and some rather normal and ordinary. I bet you
Yeah.
sound like there are loads. We've got three. But what we want you guys to do is we are going to be answering your questions, but also we want to hear your stories, your dilemmas, statements. We want you to give us the talking points that you want us to talk about on this show. And so there is a link that we're going to get in the chat for you to jump on and share questions, stories, dilemmas, and statements with us. And you can definitely, and we encourage you to, do it anonymously. Make up a name, come up with an alias, make it a funny one, because that'll crack us up and give us a laugh. We love to laugh, me and Caroline.
Yeah.
But also it means that you can just be no holds barred and share what you want, ask what you want, etc. So that link is in the chat. It's currently a bit of a spammy looking link in terms of it's not got a very nice slug on it. I'll get a beautiful redirect one next week so that you've got a beautiful, pretty little link. Oh, hello, we've got reverb. Is that you? But yeah, click on that, fill it in. And we've already had some great submissions. So we are going to be answering some of those and sharing some of those today.
So to summarize, we'd love you to get involved and give us something to talk about, basically.
And then tune in next week to see if we decide to run with it. Because there are some things we haven't run with that we've been shared. We've been asking for awkward questions for months now. And there are some that we have left. We have left in the thing that Jennifer hasn't ran with because, well, they've been a little bit too
Oh, really? Oh, I
yeah,
haven't been told this. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. No, I have not been.
raunchy. Can't really do raunchy at Wednesday on a Wednesday at 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. It's a bit
Yeah.
too
I was
much.
saying this the other day. I was like, we're a 12. 12 to maximum 15. If you see us in cinema, that's our rating.
Yeah. Yeah.
12 to
Yeah,
15. So, but
absolutely.
oh yeah, I mean, actually, I'm very intrigued by these messages. Anyway, nonetheless, I always say that. Nonetheless, I hate myself for saying that. I'm going to stop saying it. It's very dismissive. So, Cordelia and I have
What were you messaging me at 11 p.m. last night then, Caroline? Tell everyone.
right. So, I was writing emails last night. We've been we're always refining the messaging, but we're getting really sharp and really clear on it. So I was working on the messaging for the networking event tomorrow to get people on our list to register because it is a flipping ball, I'm gonna say. And so we like to get people to register from the list. And I, you may or may not know this, and you might not be able to tell, but I spend a lot of time writing those emails. Like one email takes me quite some time, and you'll read them sometimes. You'll be like, Jesus, this is rubbish. And I will read them later on and be like, what is this about? But it will have taken me ages. And usually I will then be able to edit it because I get this thing called word blindness, where I'm working on an email for so long, or anything really, writing for so long. I'm like, I can't read anymore. Like, I don't know if this makes sense. I don't know if this I just don't understand whether this is an okay thing to say or not. I lose sense of what's an okay sentence in so many ways, in all kinds of ways. But I managed to finish the email yesterday and put it into Go High Level, which we've recently switched to. And I wasn't sure I was just like, I can't remember because we've had from Aweber, we use there's a naming thing which helps put the names in the emails where I was like, what's the thing to put names in? I can't remember how to do that. And what's the link to the page I need to send them to? And what segment do I send it to? There were lots of things I needed wiring up, I suppose we could say. And so Cordelia knows what to do. Eventually I'll figure it out. But last night I was like, I can't figure this out. It needs to go out tomorrow. So I'm going to allocate it to Cordelia. And in my head, okay, this is on her to-do list to do. And that's what I thought. That's what I thought I did. Like, Cordelia, would you please just, in your own sweet time, whenever it is of convenience, your nearest, soonest convenience, could you please wire up this email? That was in my head of what I sent. But it wasn't what I sent. I actually said, could you please wire up this email and have it sent out by 8 a.m, which is really unreasonable because for many of you that don't know, Cordelia is quite pregnant. She has 3 children and does the school run. And it was 11 p.m. when I sent that email. So I woke up to a message from Cordelia, a very amenable and very nice message, like, well, I'll do my best, but I've got the school run, so I might not be able to get it done on time. And I was like,
that's
oh God.
actually cheating though. I don't have the school run. I have to say, yes, I am rather pregnant.
Yeah.
And yes, I do have 3 children that have already been birthed into this world, but my children take themselves on the school run. Unless it's raining, and then I'll give them a lift, but they do. But yeah, I think that's probably a very common thing. I'd love to know, anybody watching, do you get word blindness if you've been writing emails for hours? I looked at that message and I was like, it's 11 p.m. Obviously, your brain has started going a bit doolally at that point. Like, her message didn't even make any sense. It was like, no, not really. I had to decode it and
Okay.
try and figure out what email you're on about and what you wanted me to do with it. But anyway, it's done, it's out.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I even requested that. So unreasonable. I was so surprised by what I'd said. I made myself absolutely crack up and I cried with laughter because I was like, who do I think I am? Like, what on earth am I just allocating? Please have this done by 8 a.m, you very pregnant lady. And I know it's 11 p.m. at night, so I've given you 9 hours to comply with this task. Yes, yeah, get it done.
To be fair, it was out by 8:32. So
you're so good. You are so good. But yeah,
well, anyway, Caroline,
laughing.
changing gears, we've got a question from one of our rebels called Sarah Tucker.
Okay.
And she has asked us, have either of you been gifted something that you said you loved, but you will be re-gifting to someone else? Why is this a thing instead of being real and telling the person thank you, but no thank you? Haha. Just a little haha at the end. Has anybody ever given you something that you didn't want, that you didn't like? That was like, what is this present?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got a particular family member who forever gives me terrible gifts, and it's a source of annoyance and frustration actually, because I think it's a lack of effort, and I actually I won't get into too much of it, but I do have a little. Actually, I wonder if it's near. Where is it? I've got a box. I didn't actually expect to say this on the show, but I've got a box which I put the crap presents in, and I'm like, well, in a couple of years' time, I can give it back because they're kind of like trinket box. They're just things that just are not very meaningful or very well thought.
I think though, I know who you're talking about, and this is a relationship where there's a lot of background and context.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like that's just a friend that's just rocked up and given you a birthday present. So maybe we'll park that family member. Is there anyone else that's given you something?
I'm sure over the years, I don't think I've ever re-gift. I mean, I tell you what, I do re-gift present bags. It really winds me up.
Yeah.
Someone like, so I've recently been given a present bag which says happy birthday, but someone stuck the number on, which is very sweet. But I'm like, oh, very inconsiderate because now what? Well, I've just got to throw it away. I can't use this again for someone else. So I always
they haven't got much life in them anyway, though. Like, you probably use them about a few times.
I don't know which round of bag I've got. I'm like, this could have been passed around for decades. knows?
Let's
But
get
yes, there's one that
cracking.
I can't recycle. So I always recycle bags. Can't
Mm.
really think of presents if I'm being brutally honest. My friends are really good with presents. What about you?
I don't. Well, I did have one pop into mind that cracked me up. Last year, a friend of mine who sends me loads of presents. She's the sweetest person. Shout out to Cynthia. She sends me the sweetest
Oh
things
yeah. Hi,
such
Sim.
regular basis. She sent me bird boxes to put in the garden. She sends all kinds of really cute stuff. But last year she sent me a care package. It's like, one of those care packages that you can get on Amazon. They've got like random bits in. There's like a really cute little bracelet in there, and there was like one cup that there was a cup or a candle that said like really inappropriate and quite aggressive stuff on it, like you're my
Yeah,
best
so
mate, and if anyone ever upsets you, I'll shank them or something like that. And she didn't know that that's what was going to be written on it, because it was just like a care package that Amazon had put together. But I was like really shocked. Like I read that and I was like, oh, okay, that's some fierce love right there. So that was quite funny. But in general, I have to say, like, this is a bit of a thing for me. Um, if anybody ever gives me anything, I normally cry and just feel like really, really, really grateful. And I'm not the kind of person like with my kids, I am really funny about them. Like they need to be showing and demonstrating absolute gratitude and thanks every time anyone ever sends them anything. Like it's a real thing for me. Um, and so, no, personally, I would never be able to say thanks, but no thanks. I
oh
just
God,
wouldn't.
with a gift you can't. I don't think so. Why?
Well,
So
that's what Sarah's asking. She's saying, like, why is this a thing? Like, why are we grateful for stuff that we don't like rather than saying thank you, no thanks? And I think, well, the answer for me is like, because someone's gone to the effort, someone's
mm,
put in the effort of like trying to demonstrate that they care about you. And I think I probably feel quite guilty when people gift me stuff because I'm really rubbish at gifts.
yeah, me
I
too.
show my love in other ways, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's an element of I feel a bit bad, but then also
I'm actually really bad as well with gifts. I'm not good at gifts.
I'm not good at gifts. I
I'm not
really
good at
struggle with
gifts.
it. Um, but yeah, so no, I don't. But I think in terms of why is that a thing? I think it's about the gift is a surface level thing. The gift doesn't really matter. What matters is that someone's made the
Mm.
effort and someone's gone to that they've put some thought in, or they've tried to make you feel special or loved, and that's the bit that gets me. And I think when people are ungrateful about that, it feels like a sense of entitlement, and it really pisses me off. So
Oh,
if
you
my kids, if
hate
I
entitlement.
hate entitlement, so if my
Hey,
kids are ungrateful about gifts, oh my God, they would be banished to the cellar.
I have a cellar.
I don't have a cellar. But if I had a cellar, they would be banished to it.
On this topic, I can't remember. There's been more than one person that said to me, Cordelia's well posh, isn't she? And I mean, you're not doing anything for this posh reputation that you got. Yeah,
Posh
some
reputation.
people, pardon what you say?
Have I got a posh reputation?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People think you're posh. People think you got a bit of a silver spoon. And I'm like, mate, no way. She got a crazy wild background. I've said before, like, no, 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 no. Not like you've got like a good, you're from good stock. I'd say. But like, yeah, you've got a bit of a wild background. But yeah, so I was just saying, you're like, oh, you should get in the cellar. I'm like, some people might actually believe that you have a cellar.
Maybe.
Some people think you're really posh.
So do you have to be posh to have a cellar then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like a shotgun over the shoulder tweed hat type of thing.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Them over the arm, like we can walk around with pipe, right? Oh yes, I got this Bordeaux out of the cellar yesterday. It was positively covered in cobwebs, but it tasted divine.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
never thought of that. I don't really know anyone with a cellar, to be honest. So,
Not in England, I don't think.
oh,
Unless
my
they,
old
unless
landlord had a cellar. It
did
was
he a
terrifying.
converted pub?
Hey,
Because pubs have cellars, don't they?
my dad's converted a few pubs and none of them have got a cellar.
Rubbish.
I
You're just
know.
terrible at picking pubs to convert. How great would your house be with a cellar?
Well, let's ramp up the old Lamborghini, put our foot on the accelerator and change lanes, because I've got another topic here. We've got a question from Hope Daly. And Hope is asking, she said, I'm interested to know what you both do.
I feel like,
what...
can I interject quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like before we change gears, we have to do a summary. I think this may be one of
Okay.
the few weak things with you is you don't do summaries.
All right.
We've got to summarize the point.
Okay, so this can be your role. You can be the summarizer.
I'm glad I am so useful. That is now my official title, the summarizer.
Let's see if you can actually summarize it and not re-say it all, because that's what I would do. I would just re-say it all.
Right. No, you have to doorstop it, right? You have you have your intro, which is the question. You pose it. You're on your hero's journey. You've been given a question. And what you've done is you've gone, okay, next hero's journey.
Yeah, I'm getting bored now. Come on, let's move on. Right, come on then, summarize.
You're saying that to me. I don't know if you are. Anyway, nonetheless. No, I'm not doing nonetheless. Right. So to summarize, the summary is that why do we do that actually? I don't think we even came to a conclusion. So the answer to the question is, why do we do that? Oh, because if you show that you don't like something, I mean, I'm hating the fact that I'm summarizing this. It feels very like it feels very forced now. We should have just done it naturally. But if you show that you don't like something, then you are an entitled brat, basically. That's not true. I'm sorry. I feel under pressure to come.
You might be seen as an entitled brat, which would be someone's opinion.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, like I've now put a pin in it.
Got a pin in it.
Okay. Oh, I feel embarrassed now.
Can I rev up the Lamborghini now?
Yes, you can rev up the Lamborghini.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to change lanes. We're overtaking a Nissan Micra. And by the way, that sounds so random. We decided that in between these topics, we were going to say changing gears and changing lanes and try and be as wacky as possible. So I was just trying to be as wacky as possible, but I realized it makes absolutely no sense. So yes, anyway.
Private joke. Everyone has a private joke.
Daly, who I wonder if she is related to Tess Daly. Do let us know, Hope, if you're listening. I'm interested to know what you both do and why you decided to launch the Rebellious Business Network.
Good question. Yeah. I think that is like, I mean, obviously I can tell everyone what I do, and I can talk about my experience of you launching the network, which is fantastic. But I think you should really take the reins on this one.
Okay, well, I mean, me and Caroline have been in the world of marketing.
Oh yeah.
2017, let's say. Caroline maybe 2016. Because we were in an affiliate marketing community.
Actually, fun fact, I had a copywriting internship when I was 21.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been in marketing now for technically for 13 years. Now everyone knows how old I am, but that's fine. Yeah, so 13 years, but I didn't stick it here for long because it was 20 quid a day in southwest London, which was impossible to cope with. But yeah, I had a copywriting internship at a magazine in southwest London in Kingston when I was 21.
How long did you do that for?
A couple months.
What about the gap in between that and like?
I was doing other things. I was traveling and working in bars and enjoying life.
All right. Well, we met at a business conference in 2017. That's how we met. And we were both trying to get a new online business off the ground in affiliate marketing. And Caroline wrote my YouTube ad, helped me write it, in the back of a van. We were on our way to the Grand Canyon in Arizona and like some group like trip to the Grand Canyon to go and shoot YouTube ads. So we're all enthusiastic little bushy-tailed bunny rabbits that were excited about getting our new adverts up and running on YouTube. Anyway, so we stopped off in Sedona and tried filming there, and I was having the most terrible time, really struggling to get anything out and didn't manage to. And then Caroline was like, come on, I'll help you. And basically we sat in the back of the van and wrote out this ad. And then we recorded it at the Grand Canyon. And I remember at the end of filming this ad, by the time I finished, we had this like group of people around us, and they all started cheering when it was finished. And it was just the greatest feeling. It's like, whoa, I've shot that first ad. So that's how me and Caroline met, and that was sort of the beginning of our relationship into marketing together. But we became just like really close friends, best friends, and we're very close, and helping each other with our own sort of tandem businesses. We had a couple of joint ventures where we did a community together, but in 2020, that's when I launched the network. And actually, I was talking to Caroline about the network, and Caroline was very present in all of that. She's been a guest expert to many events that I've put on and all these things, and she'd come in and do training sessions with clients and whatever. But we launched the network. I launched the network in 2020. And the reason why I launched it is because we'd just gone in. At this point, I was a few months into becoming an independent marketing consultant. With the experience that I had, I decided to just go independent beyond that. So I became that. And then lockdown happened, and all the networking events I had been going to were shut down. And I said, well, fine, I'll just create one for everyone. And so I invited everyone that I've been networking with and said, look, I've decided to just throw together an online networking event, invited everyone, and the Rebellious Business Network began. So that was March 2020. And then every Wednesday at 10:30, we met up to network, and I delivered training, and things just evolved and developed since then. But that was why the network began and what it was for back then, basically.
But interestingly, when the question is about what we do, which I think we've not been forthcoming enough about, and we haven't, it's all very close, behind closed doors, because the network is very front and center. It's an amazing way to bring people together, which is very important to us. But ultimately, what we do is we help businesses succeed, and we help businesses get clients. And through many different ways. Like we have obviously our we have quick wins way, and lots of ways to do it. But I think that's something that's really important. It's that, like, what we do, our background is in marketing, and that's where we met, and that's where we've collaborated, and that's where we have like really what's the word, where it goes together, compatible. We have really compatible skill sets, because you're
when it goes together, compatible. Yes.
Compatible. Yeah. So like so I think that's something really important for the audience to know, is like, we're loud about networking because we really care about bringing people together, and people just love it, whether they work with us or not. It's an amazing gift to give to the world, really, like the networking events. Plus, quick segue, we have our next networking event happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. Feel free to register at go.rebelliousbusiness.com/network. And they're just really fun, and we make them rebellious because it's just so much better to connect in by being rebellious. It's more connecting, right? We have fun. We don't do the standard things at networking events, because we don't believe they're best for connecting.
Well, that's I think that's a really good point to talk about, is the fact that, like, the whole, because like I have a real bugbear about networking in general. Like I had a lovely meeting with a lovely chap about networking the other day. He was interested in talking to me about networking. I had to be really frank with him and say, look, I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck about networking. Like, I think it's the most boring thing in the world. What I care about is connecting people together. And I think that in, like, the point is missed a lot of the time. Like, if you want to network, don't make it about networking. Make it about finding friends and connecting with people. And that's kind of where this has gone. I mean, one of the things that's really important for context on how this whole thing is developed is that when I met Caroline in 2017, I was launching my second business. I'd had a business in e-commerce. I was launching my second business. I was also in a really unhappy marriage. I had 3 children that were under the age of 5 or 4. They were tiny. And I was really kind of trying to change the direction of my life. I'd just come out of depression. I've discovered Abraham Hicks, come out of depression, and then the next thing is I discovered this affiliate marketing community. That community was so powerful for me. It was so powerful because in the business I'd had previously, I knew nobody that was doing what I did. I was on my own trying to work it out. I made friends with the man in the freight forwarding company because then at least I'd have a contact, like someone who might know a little bit about stuff arriving from China on an aeroplane, or in a seaport or whatever. But my point is that that community then changed the game for me in the sense that I now had peers, I had friends, I had mentors, I had people that were able to guide me and help me and move me forwards. And that just made the quality of my life so much better because I wasn't stuck, I wasn't alone, and all of those things. It really was that community. And big shout out to Stuart Ross, who is the most incredible community creator. I don't know. I used to think he was some kind of god because how can you make a community that amazing? Since launching Rebellious, I've realized it's not that hard because what you need to do is you need to prioritize building relationships and you need to create an environment where you allow people to connect with each other in a way that they can actually connect. I'll put a pin in that and we can cross-examine that another time. But the point is that community is really, really powerful for helping you grow and develop just as an individual entrepreneur. So how do we, the thing that I'm interested in is connection. Like, how do we get people to connect? How do we get people to build more connect? Because it doesn't matter if you're looking for clients or if you're looking for collaborators or if you're looking for your business partner or if you're looking for your next husband. You need to be able to connect with people in order to get that opportunity in place, whether it's a sale, whether it's a collaboration, a business partner, or your ex-husband. And the way that we kick that connection into gear is that we go through an experience together. And that is really important. So when it comes to networking, a lot of places are creating networking environments, but people aren't really making many connections with others because it's very two-dimensional. So yeah.
Sorry. My notifications going off, such a rookie mistake. Well, that was a brilliant segue, I think. And well, to round it back, it's that's one of the things we do with networking, right? That we bring people together. And also, I'm a huge people person as well. I love people. So that was like a really good synergy between us.
Yeah.
And something that brings me joy, and it also brings value to the business, quite honestly. Like, it is an amazing way to bring people into our world. Like, I think it'd be what's the word, inauthentic to not like say that it's a great way to attract people into our world. Because ultimately our business is helping people get clients. Like, it's much more of a consultancy or training, or it's a service of helping people succeed in business, really. And we provide tools and trainings for that. Networking, which is another thing I thought about the other day. I was like, it's our networking is free and it attracts people to us and attracts people together. It's an amazing thing that we do to bring people to us, bring each other together. Because we had a comment on our ad, which I saw the other day, where someone said, oh, how much is it after this first event? And I was like, oh no, all of our events are free. Like, all of our networking events are free and we invite everyone to it. Like, the problem we have is trying to get the notifications out, right? Like, we have 4,000 people on our list, and we have so many things going on that we're like, we don't always, like, we're not always on top of re-inviting people. But the events are never paid for. And I was like, wow, we don't talk about that enough. People think that that's the business, that it's networking. And so I kind of want to get louder about the fact that it's not, we're not a networking business. We are a client. Our main product, our core offer, is that we have a client getting community. Obviously, community is so important to us for so many reasons. Cordelia, you've kind of gone into it a little bit with our background and where we met. But even, that just gave us the insight that community is amazing. That, like, why we've got one is because it is just amazing. But we've got the experience to know that, and we're lucky enough with that. but that's our business. We help people get clients, and we have a community they can join that makes the whole experience amazing. I think that's probably like the best way to put it. But networking is just, it's just the thing we do to bring people together, and that includes bringing us
It's
together.
one of the things. One
Well,
of the things. That's the thing. It's just a tool. It's one tool. Like, I would say that the connections made inside the Rebels Business Tribe are 10 times stronger than any
yeah.
made at the network, obviously, because
Yeah.
they're going through an experience together on a regular basis and building
Yeah.
connections. So yeah, networking is it's the surface level. The way I see it is a good networking event is it's like the spark, not embers, because that's a fire cooling down, isn't it? It's the spark of a new kind of beginning.
Mhm.
Like the
And then you have to go like,
yeah, then you got to get the bellows out.
yeah, that's me. If anyone is, that's me stoking.
Yeah. By the way, just want to give a shout out to everyone watching on the live stream. Hey guys, I can see Mark Lyons is here and I can see John Denley is here. Mark is saying replace the term networking with fabric web interconnections. Something other than networking has negative connotations. It goes back to the days of pyramid selling. Interesting. I think there are networking. The problem is with renaming stuff is that people then don't know what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, like there are loads of let me just like say that there are loads of really great networks out there and loads of networking groups that are doing really good work. We try and we're looking for people that are actively looking for networking. And so networking is a key word because it is really
Yeah.
of an established thing. So we've actually talked about renaming it to a connection event, but like no one would know what that means. And
What about
so
Mark's suggestion? What was it that he said? What was Mark's suggestion?
Mark is suggesting we change it to fabric web interconnections.
I think that's it. That's the one. I think that's what we got to change the network name to. Fabric. What? I got fabric web.
I mean,
Fabric web.
I hear the word fabric and I'm clubbing in London. Like that's where I am.
Wow, I'm
Fabric.
actually just thinking of material. You're doing good for your posh girl reputation. Um,
Posh girl. Have you met? Well, no, I'm not going to say that.
yeah.
Shout out to my nan, who's probably watching this. Love you, nan. Cool.
Shirley.
So there we have it. Do we need to summarize, Caroline, before we
No, no, because I feel like I feel like we rounded it. I feel like we rounded it.
Okay.
I feel like you got bored of the last one a bit prematurely, and you're like, right, on to the next one. I'm like, whoa, Nelly, we just need a couple more minutes. But I feel like we've really explored enough. I don't know what makes me the rounder offer police, but
Because you think in a copywriting format. It's like if something doesn't follow that, you get a little like ding 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 alarm bell.
I
But
might
one
have
of my biggest problems is that sometimes I get bored of what I'm saying halfway through a sentence and just stop talking. Like my brain has
Oh
gone
my
so far.
God. Yes, you do. No, you get bored after you say 3 words. You'd be like, wow, so and so. And I'm like, what? She said, what did she say? What did they
I
do?
know I
What
do
the-
that. I do that. It's really annoying.
It's
I'm sorry.
frustrating. No, it's fine. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't know why I said it like
Okay,
that.
well, changing gears, just a little interchange. If you have a question, story, dilemma, or statement you want us to cover on the show, if you want us to answer it, reveal it, debate it, or discuss it live here on the show, all you need to do is head to the link I'm about to drop in the chat. And that is going to give you a place where you can anonymously submit anything to us you like. And then all you need to do is tune in next Wednesday at 10:30 to see if we've decided to run with it. And every Wednesday after that, because we've got a bit of a, backlog that builds up and we're going to cover probably about 3 a week. So there's a good opportunity that we will run with yours. Our next question is from Lord Zoom. And he says, being a Zoomie, I don't get out much for networking. I understand that people prefer you to show interest in them rather than bore you with their life story or product pitch. So please share the best and worst business pickup lines, conversation or slash conversations you have experienced so that we can all improve our communication. It's a very long
Word.
question, very wordy question there. I think what I'm hearing is, what are the best and worst business pickup lines in networking that you've ever experienced? Pickup line being the thing that is going to create that connection,
Oh,
which is
sorry.
interesting off the back of the conversation we just had, because yeah,
Oh,
go
because I was
Caroline, what
thinking, right, we kind of give out, we do all the pickup lines at the event. Like, we're
yeah,
like, you guys go and figure out the best slogan for this weird item.
yeah, yeah,
And you don't really have to even come up with a pickup line. We give you
uh-huh.
the, like, the icebreakers. I think that's a good way. Like, we give you the icebreakers that so that you can just get on with getting on.
Okay, so if you come to the Rebellious Business Network, you don't have to worry about pickup lines,
Yeah.
because we're never going to put you in an awkward situation where you have to strike up a conversation with someone that you've never spoken to before and think of something to say. But there are going to be those situations in life, especially if you go to
Yeah.
a business conference and you're at the bar, you're ordering a drink. Like, shame on you if you don't talk to people at these things. Like, you need to strike up lots of conversations. So what's the best and the worst ways of doing it? Um, I think I just want to give a pre-frame and a mindset reframe to this whole thing, which is, do not necessarily go with the intention of picking someone up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if you have that as your intention, you're gonna accidentally come across as slimy or smarmy or after one thing. I think the best intention to have will create a really awesome pickup line, which is literally just to make some friends. Like, if you
Mm.
go to a networking event or you go to a business conference, two places that come to mind where you'll be having these conversations with people, have the intention to make friends. That will make things feel way more natural. And trust me, even if they become your client, it'll be great, because your new client is also a new friend, and it just make the whole relationship much more fun. But yeah, so that's what I would say first and foremost. What's your intention? If your intention is to try and make some sales and you're making it all about that, you're going to accidentally come across as a bit um after one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, agendered.
Agendered. Yeah,
Yes.
agendered.
For
Absolutely.
some people, though, they can just really hustle and shark it through. Like, I'm not really one of those people. I guess that's the thing, that's like we're not professional networkers. Like, you could probably get like loads of tips on how to, like, you know, how to grab someone's attention or whatever. I think that's just like it's just not something I want to
I,
do.
I don't know if I would, well, I mean, I don't know what the benchmark is for a professional networker, but I've definitely done multi six figures from networking.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't
I
say
guess
I'm not a
so. It
professional
depends what you
networker,
mean
but
by networking as well, because like networking doesn't, I feel like networking events are just, or like, they're just a form of networking. Like, one of my
yeah.
friends is an amazing networker. She did it just through going to paddle and like, doing like actual activities, and also then moved to an area where her ideal clients actually live. And then she just got into the like local sort of activities there, which is, amazing for that. So like, and so if we're talking about that, I think, yeah. Um, but again, I guess I networked more to connect with people, which worked out in my favor, I think.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, it does. It will, because you come across as a genuine, a safe person, like
mm,
a non-shark. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
also I learned, like, so when I got the way I got most of my clients was accidentally giving value to a community, which is networking as well, a form of networking. And people came to me because I was contributing in this community.
mhm.
That was like, and then, I was like, oh well, I can just do that more and make it more strategic.
Yeah.
Um, I actually found it easier when I wasn't strategic in some ways, It just came to me, maybe because I wasn't actively like going, okay, let's go try and find clients. But it was like, well, it was really nice when people were requesting to work with me just when I didn't even consider it as a business opportunity or a business option. But yeah.
Well, let's do this question justice and I'll do some pickup lines. I think one of the most boring questions to answer when you're at a business event is, oh, hi, what do you do? It's like,
Oh.
oh God, I've got to say the spiel again.
Mm.
We had Joel Stone, who is a dear friend of mine and runs a very awesome Facebook ads company, and the name has skipped my head. Baby brain, we'll blame it on that. He'll kill me if he knows. But he came on the show once and did a training segment, and he talks about going up to people at networking events and asking like, so how do you make a difference in people's lives, or so what's your superpower, like what how are you changing people's lives? I just said that, but it's, I can't remember the wording of it, but he had a really great line such as that was obvious as to what he was asking, but asking it in a different way that was more focused on trying to find out how they help people rather than what they do as a business, which was quite nice. He said he gets some really good answers off the back of that. Um, Another line in the early stages of starting a conversation with people, which is a big no, do not ask it. You will seem like you are the sleazy, slimy, only after one thing kind of person, which is, so what's the biggest problem in your business right
Oh,
now?
oh God.
There are ways to find that out that are less direct and a little bit more subtle. Come on.
Yeah.
Can you think of any good ones?
I think the main one is, but also I think like if you think about pickup lines, one of the things is when you do the round robin intros, right? You've got your
Yeah.
elevator pitch is like a one to many pickup line, which like your face, it's like a one to many pickup line, isn't it? So
Yeah.
um uh, I actually went through, I started networking like again this like last year. I was interested because I wanted to meet new people. Basically I wanted to make more friends in the real world because we do online networking. And I mentioned, but I felt also really bad because I was like, I don't want to go to a network and then poach people to my network, if that makes sense. Like it made me feel a bit like conflicted. I was like, I feel like I'm a spy. I don't know why. Like I felt like I wasn't really, I shouldn't have really been there. Because I just really wanted to build more connections in that sense. I think when I stood up, I was like, I wasn't expecting to stand up either. I was like, I don't know. I just kind of, it's such a terrible, what's the word, terrible example, but I didn't practice the elevator pitch, but I mentioned the NABA client toolkit, and I had so many people coming up to me because I said, oh, basically I help people, because I was thinking about a specific, and this is probably my copywriting, I'm thinking about a specific offer. I wasn't going, oh, I run this, I run networks. I definitely wasn't going to say that. I run online networking events, and I have, this community. I wasn't going to go into like all of the things I do, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to say the one thing that we've got, which is really sharp. So I talked about the NABA client toolkit, which essentially is like, okay, get clients in a week, especially if you take part in our challenge. And I had people coming up to me afterwards and being like, oh, I'm really interested in this. I'm really interested in this. And I was like, yeah, it's great. I'm not surprised. And then there's like, then
Humble. That was very humble of you.
I know. I was like, oh, yes, it is fantastic. So I think uh, one thing to do is like, so if you're thinking about your, what's it called, when you're doing if you are going to networking events and you do the round robin intros where you're supposed to like kind of like pitch what you want from people or pitch yourself, don't think of it as getting clients. Like think about that. I always say this as well, think about that sharp next offer that you've got. Like once they're in your world, once they've bought your let's say your tripwire, which is a cheap, your cheaper product to get in or whatever, just think about the next sale that you want, talking to the benefits of that, and just focus on that, because I found that it was a really sharp, just this is what I do. And it sounded small, but no one asked any other questions in terms of like, oh, what else do you do? Because that's a small thing. The toolkit's like a small product. They were just really interested in that toolkit. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's really interesting. So I think don't make it bigger than necessary. Focus on a small core offer and just say like, well, that's it, and own that. So it's not really a pickup line, but it works, I guess. It's niche and to the point.
Yeah.
Um,
And
there's
and and I it's not a pickup line, no. And you are like you're following suit and doing what is expected of you in that situation and sharing a mini pitch for something that you've got to offer. And it's definitely better to share something tangible and small like that for sure,
Mm.
than trying to give people the full view of what it is that you do, because then it's big and intangible and takes a bit of a conversation to figure out, well, how do I apply what you do to my problem right now? Whereas the toolkit is very specific and it applies it in that way. So that's a really good tip. We've got a few of our rebels inside the Rebels Business Tribe. We've got one strategy called the Avatar Interview Strategy, and we've got a few of our rebels that have used that, for instance, as a way of doing an elevator pitch at a networking event.
Yeah.
And they have pitched like that they're here at this event looking for people to do a market research interview with them that's going to help them with a project in exchange for a freebie call that they've designed. And that's worked really well.
Mm.
I think that's a really good thing. Mark saying that, if you're at a networking event, people expect to be prepositioned, and I agree. Proposition, sorry, and I agree. They do. It just depends on the context. Like
But
the
it doesn't
word,
mean that they are enthusiastic about it. Just you know that people are looking for clients, but I think in a way, when you know that other people are looking for clients or they're looking to pitch to you, you kind of have a wall up because you're not there to be someone else's client. That's what I also think is a bit of an issue with networking events. Everyone's going there to get clients and that's the idea, is to get business. Mostly, obviously people want to connect, but you want to get business, or you want to go get business, but so does everyone else in the room.
yeah.
They don't want I'm not going there because I'm like, oh, I want to find out what businesses I can pay. Like that'd be I'm not, I've had I've been a really bad run. I've stopped. I've lost loads of businesses that I'm signed up to. I can't, well, I'm really running low on them. I
I need
know.
some more subscriptions. Right.
Yeah, I need more subscriptions. I need more purchases. Where can I go to get pitched to? Oh, I know. I'll go to networking events. That's a great place to find businesses that will pitch to me. Like no one does that. I mean, imagine if they did. That'd be amazing. Where's the room full of those people? Desperate to get some pitches. That'd be great to find a room full of those. But most people are going to networking events because they want to pitch. So it means that your ideal client isn't, well, they might be there, but they're not there because they want you to pitch to them or they want something from you. They're there because they want to get people for themselves. So
And I think I'm going to leave it with this final thing then, which I think in terms of like my contribution to this topic anyway, which is that if you want to be really smart about this and you want to use networking events in a really smart way that is going to
mm,
contribute to your bottom line, is going to get you loads of clients, don't go there with the surface level expectation of trying to get a client from the networking event, because
mm,
that is a very short-lived, not very powerful outcome that you could get in comparison to other opportunities that are available. I think one of the ways in which I've leveraged networking that has enabled me to do really well from it in the long term, in a way that's really contributed to my business in the form of lots of new followers, lots of new connections, and lots of new clients, is that I go to networking events, or I go to these events in general, and I am open-minded to the opportunities that are hidden, the ones you can't see, the ones you don't know who is there. I'm open-minded to the fact that you never know who's in the room, you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know what the result of that new relationship could bring, which is why going with the intention to make friends with people is really smart. Because if
mm,
you're going with the intention to just get a client, you're not going to see the fact that there's actually this really awesome person that you could collaborate with here that would increase your list size by 20,000 people if you just collaborated together. Or there's someone over here that knows the answer to a thing that is really holding you back. Or there's ideas that are going to generate, and there's things that are going to come out of it, and who knows what they are. But that's what you should be excited about, is I'm going to this thing, there's going to be awesome, creative, successful, all kinds of people in this room, and I don't know who I'm going to meet. And I
Mm.
am open to the idea that there is hidden opportunities at every turn, and I'm open to seeing what they are. I want to say that I do also think it's good to go with an intention of what you would like to get out of these events. Like I've gone to a business conference with the intention that I was going to get a new client, a speaking opportunity, and a business partnership, and I left with all three of those ticked off. So I was conscious that that's what I was looking for, but at the same time I was open-minded to every single person I spoke to, who they could be, what role they could play, what opportunity could be lying there. And I think that open-mindedness is really, really important because it leads to so many valuable connections that will serve you in so many way more important ways than just getting a client and having a quick win right now.
I think that's a brilliant sign off.
Well, there we go. I think it's Romeo done. This has been the Rebellious Business Show. I've been Cordelia and this has been Caroline. We are really good actresses.
Next week, I'll be Cordelia and you could be Caroline.
It's swap places. Please do drop your awkward questions, normal questions, dilemmas, stories, statements, anything that you want us to talk about on the show next week. Click the link in the chat and share them with us, and then tune in 10:30 a.m. UK time Wednesday next week to see if we run with it. Because yeah, we want you to shape what we talk about rather than us to shape it, because if we shape it, we'll just make it all about marketing, and that might become a little bit repetitive. So please do enter the questions for us. I think that's it, Caroline. Anything you want to say?
Happy Wednesday. Hope you have a great rest of your week and hopefully see you tomorrow.
Lots of love. See you tomorrow.
Bye.